We're looking at formatting numbers. We're going to be discussing printf. We talked about print and print line, and I had a little mention of printf whenever we were doing the output video, the output unit. So now we're going to bring this in so we can kind of get a little better look at it and see how it works. So printf can do multiple things for you. It can format decimal places. It can allow you to make your output line up in columns. If you're trying to do some kind of statistical program where you're trying to analyze some things and print out some results in some kind of column format, this would be useful. Plus, it's just kind of a cool thing to understand how to do. And printf exists in lots of languages. It exists in C and C++ and other languages too. So it's pretty common. So that's another reason that it's useful to understand, because it exists in a lot of different places and it's pretty much the same way everywhere you encounter it. So in this case, when you're using printf, the first part of the printf is the formatting string. And then after the formatting string, you have a comma, and then whatever it is that you're trying to format. So you're going to have percent something, either F or D or S or whatever the case may be, that you're processing and formatting. So here I have %.2F. F means decimal number. I want to format the following decimal number to 2 decimal places. So it formats 9.237284 into 9.24. The reason it's 9.24 instead of 9.23 is because the 7 after the 3 in the rounding, in terms of how the rounding works with the printf, it bumps it up to 9.24. But you get the idea. So here you have a whole bunch of examples of printf with 1 decimal place all the way to 5. You can see all the rounding in action and see how that changes things depending on how you've set up the original number. But you can go through these on your own. You don't need me to walk through every single one of these. Here I've added in a little bit of spice, right? I threw some column size in now to go along with the .2F. So now it formats it to a particular size of a column, and with the column applied, it's right aligned. So it's going to right align everything that you put in the column width of 9. If I want to left align or right align, I've got some options. If I don't do anything with the number before the .3F, it's just going to left align it and format the decimal places. If I do 12.3F, then it's going to make a column width of 12. It's going to format my value to 3 decimal places and right align it. If I want to do the column stuff where I make a column and I want it to be left aligned in the column, then I put a negative sign in front of that first number. Once again, this is one of those things, my example should get you started, but you're really going to totally understand this when you go in and start changing the values and running the examples and spending some time in the code playing around with these different things. Then you'll totally understand how it all works. Here I've got some other examples. These are no longer decimal examples, but the D means whole number. So now I'm dealing with integer values. I can treat them the same way. The only thing that I can't do with an integer value is set its number of trailing decimals. I can't do that. But I can left align, I can right align. I can also fill in the column width with a 0 if I wanted to do that. And there's way more to this than we have time to discuss. But if you go and look up the documentation on printf, it can do a ton of stuff that you would find useful if you wanted to do that. In this one, I'm playing around with formatting. In this one, I'm using the cousin of printf, which is string format. String format, the difference between printf and string format is that string format is a return method. You'll also notice that I'm calling format directly on the string class, meaning the format method must be, you're correct, static. And so this is another example of a static method. But printf and string format pretty much do the same thing. The only difference is printf is its own print line kind of structure, where string format is a return method that you can assign to a variable or you can put inside of a print line. So here we got a couple examples. I'm not going to go through these examples with you, but they're there. It's your job to go out and open them up and run them and mess around with the different examples that we just looked at to make sure that you totally understand how all this works.